Hey ladies, welcome to the Good News Girls podcast, where bad news never has the last word. Today we get to hear an incredible story of good news from one of our very own girls, Amy. Let's listen in as she shares with us how God transformed her life.
My name is Amy Sorrel. I have been coming to Shreveport Community Church since October of 2016. This place is special. It not only changed my life, but it changed the whole trajectory of my kids and my grandkids, and he's just been so faithful to us. I am a recovering addict and alcoholic. I spent 22 years in addiction. When I was 13 years old, I went to a party with some friends and people I didn't know, and somebody handed me a drink. I got blackout drunk from my very first time, and that's how I drank for the next 22 years. And then I was introduced to hard drugs when I was 15. You just keep doing more and more and more to numb yourself, and that was my coping skill. I never could be the mother that I wanted to be to my oldest daughter. I was not supposed to be able to have any more children when I got pregnant with Ella. I was doing good. I was in school, had a full-time job, and I had a back surgery. And that spun me right back into my addiction harder than ever. Within 10 months, I lost everything. I knew the only one that could save me was God. I had actually visited SEC in 2010. I probably came to like 3 services after that just because it was so moving, and I knew even at that time that I needed God, I wanted God. But I never forgot how I felt when I was in this place. Even back then, just loved. All those years, this place just stayed in the back of my mind. I thought about it all the time. I just said, I've got to get close to God. And I was like, well, where is God? God is at church. I came here on a Wednesday night. I got connected to Pastor Rhonda. I remember telling Pastor Rhonda, I just got high a couple of days ago, and her just wrapping her arms around me and praying for me and telling me, I don't love you any less right now than I did before you told me that. I ended up relapsing and went out for 5 days, and during that 5 days, I had an encounter with God. I always thought you had to get right and then come to church, and get right and then come to God. Of course, I was so wrong. So now, today, I walk in complete freedom. I actually am a drug and alcohol counselor, so I get to share my story and what God has done for me on a daily basis. That's just pretty miraculous. He took me, a nobody that just felt so full of shame, to somebody that has confidence and knows that I am enough. I know without a doubt today that I'm loved, that I'm forgiven, and that's what he does. He just uses everything that was meant to destroy me. When I think of divine design, I just think that he has a plan. All along, he had a plan. Don't think that you have to do this alone, because you don't.
Thanks for listening to Good News Girls. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, we want you to know that there is hope and help available. You can call the National Substance Abuse Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. Or if you just need to talk to someone, feel free to send us a message. One of our Good News Girls would love to speak with you. That's it for today. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast to hear more good news all the time. See you later.